going to be showing you how I like to flint knap little tiny points like this. These would be perfect for any hunting, really. People call them bird points, but realistically, they were used for a variety of things. I haven't flint knapped in over a month now, but I think I should make a video on it. So, let's get right into it. Just take a simple flake and then start working it. This is going to be the whole process. I'm not going to cut it down. Expect breaks when napping thin points like this. I also want to say sorry if you can hear me breathing. I currently have allergies. For a square edge like this right here, you want to do a thing called zigzagging. So you take one flake off, you flip it over, and take one off. And the reason you do that is if you just ran your pressure flaker and went all the way down, you would just create a really steep platform, and then you actually excuse me, you actually lose width, because then you have to build up the platform and take more flakes off. So that is why you want to zigzag. In the first couple stages of shaping, because again, this is just a flake, I do not worry too much about abrading. Because this is just a flake point, right? It's not going to be too pretty. These are all for practical use or being used as a tool. Now, if you really wanted, instead of using an abrading stone, you could just crush the edge a little bit with your pressure flaker and then shoot one off. And what you want quick, snappy sounds. See how right there, I did not do any abrading whatsoever. But up here in the video, you can see I sort of crushed the edge with my pressure flaker, and it shot almost more than halfway. So that's really what you're doing. As you're flint knapping, you want to build bases, and you want to try to build like a convex shape so you can shoot flakes over. So that's pretty much where the tip is going to end up. So now I'm actually going to start working on taking stuff from the back. Try not to drop it. So right here, we have, I don't know how well you guys can see that. Right here, we have almost the perfect angle to start working. So we're going to shoot down, we're going to flip it over, shoot another one, and work our way along that. Because as you can see, it's a flat edge. So I'll show you how that's done. Oh, quick snappy flakes. Now for this, you don't want to build too much. You don't want to build too much pressure at first, because what I am used to working to is Onondaga. And this stuff you have to have forearms like a Sasquatch. But this is Georgetown, and it's a little easier to work. Now, I'm not a very good teacher. Never have been. Because as myself, I am a visual learner. And even in high school and college, I have to be shown what to do. I can't just read a book. So I picked up flint knapping very quickly because it is a visual thing. I've said this to many people who want to get into the hobby before, or who want to get into the hobby. I've told them, you can read a million hours, but once you go to do it, you're not going to make a nice point. Seeing and reading are two very different things. A few summers ago, I tried to teach my friend how to flint knap, but I am just not a very good teacher. I have a lot of patience. I just don't know how to articulate what I'm trying to say. Now, you'll notice, if you're paying attention, that I am abrading more, and I'm putting a little more pressure. Now, you still want to be careful. I'm sorry, guys. These allergies are killing me. The ball of percussion on the original flake was taken from this end, so it's actually thicker here than it is here. And you'll notice that. You don't want to shoot too many flakes into this area because you get the chances of snapping. You want to be careful around here. And just remember, you will probably end up with a point around this size. So, carefully abrade and keep working. So when I pressure flake, I push even and down. Even and down. And I could feel it with my finger. So once you've done this for a while, you start to feel it. And I could feel that last one. I took too much off. I undercut everything there, but I shot it. And we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. As I was saying, let me get it to focus. As I was saying, right here is where I undercut it. Right here is where I undercut it. So now I need to be careful. But I'm going to lose a lot of weight, length there. So what will probably happen is this will end up being the tip, and this will end up being the base. So now what I'm going to do is just carefully get rid of that. That crunching sound, it's okay because that was just trimming flakes. So now what I'm going to want to do, bring my attention, grind carefully. Now what I'm going to want to do is carefully, one by one, take flakes along the edge. Not too much pressure, but just enough where I'm not crushing the edge. Then I'm going to flip it over. Even my center line up. Center line is more important than more people realize. It's not a perfect center line, but a couple more passes and it will be nearly perfect. So now we just work this edge. Time to move on to this one. Carefully braid. And now as you can see, right here is right below center line, so I'm going to want to take that away first. So you find it, it's right here. Even pressure down and forward. Now take it back, and I shot a flake right there, went halfway. It's called building a platform. So now I can go right beside it, do the same thing. Sort of. Flint knapping is a game all about angles. It's about finding the right one. This is what I'm using as a pressure flaker. And this is what I use in the beginning stages. This is my notcher. But for today's video, I will just be using a simple piece of copper, because that's what most people will be using. That, and I don't want to sharpen my notching tool. So now I'm just going around the whole point, or biface at this point, and looking for low spots. Quick flint knapping terminology. These are called thumbnail hinges. I don't know why they're called that. They just are. I could make the point out of that, but I'm going to get the most length if I make that the point. So, pulling out our other pressure flaker. Start taking off heavier flakes. Cleaning the edges up. Sorry if you can't see this. I'm trying to focus more on the flint knapping rather than the filming, although I should be doing the opposite. So there you go. Now you can kind of see where the arrowhead's going to be going. Give me a second, my leg's asleep. So this is going to be raw footage. I'm going to try to edit this a little as I can, or as little as I have to. But for the most part, it will probably just be raw footage. Yep. So right here is a low point. We're going to want to take the flake off there. There you go. That went from there to the center line. Then I'm going to want to go right beside it. Try to do the same thing. So there you go. Pretty much all the way to the center line. Now I'm going to work on the other side and try to match that. So find a low point. So that would be right there. Big flake. Go right beside it. Try to not undercut it too much like I just did. Now, not as successful, but that's going to have to be trimmed away, which will then give me the perfect opportunity to get in there and get rid of the flatness. Sorry about that, I had to wake my leg up. Take a sip of water. So like I was saying, we're now going to trim this. We're going to trim this side. So we're going to take flakes down. Do one more pass. Okay, there you go. Now we're going to grind. So this is the edge we want to take flakes off of. You're going to want to grind on the opposite face. Now we're going to start from the tip, work our way towards the base. That's what she said. Sorry. Yep, and just as I thought what was going to happen. That's what happens when you build a platform too strong on these points. But it's still savable, believe it or not. Let's see, what would be the best course of action? I see. So now we're just going to want to trim this. Remember to zigzag. Boom. Boom. Go off the screen a little bit and see if that works better. Well, there you go. You can kind of see why they all end up being this size. Okay. Grind the edge again. And let's get back to it. I'm going to try to talk less now. Gonna pause the video, touch up my tool real quick. Right, sorry about that. So right here, we have a problem. The frustration is real. Right here, we have a problem spot where the edge actually crushed. So what you do with that, you take your grinder, take it on the other side, get a nice good platform. And most of you were probably thinking you want to go right for that. But what you actually want to do is you want to go to the side of it first. Take a flake next to it. Boom, boom, boom. So there you go. Now the problem edge is gone. Trying to be extra careful around the tip of the point, so I don't do what I did last time. Now with most points, it's very typical for the tip of the point to be way thinner than the base. So as you can see, that's kind of what I got going on right here. I now need to clean up the other side. So as you can see, it's pretty clean, nice edge, nice center line. But if you turn it around, not so much. You can see that how much more uniform it is on the left side than it is on the right. So I'm going to clean that up real quick. Sorry about the cut. My phone actually ran out of batteries. So now we're going to touch up the other edge, like I said. So this edge is nice and clean, and this edge is not so uniform. I can't get it to focus. I don't know how to record properly, and that's why I don't. So from the base, I'm going to start. Hopefully get nice snappy sounds. There you go. I think I once again ground the edge too much. And off camera again. Okay, that should be good there. Okay. There's one. So we took that off. As you can see, I was struggling with it. We took one off the other face, and now it's actually opened up. But as you can see, we have a problem. Is right up here is below center line, and then that is also below. So I'm actually going to work from the tip. Bring the tip up. You guys would not understand how awkward this is to work. Like, when I say awkward, I don't mean the angle is awkward, because this is how I usually flint knap. What I mean is that the thing I'm working is almost the same size as my fingernails. And I've seen points that fit on, like, pennies. Like 10, 12 points will fit on one penny. And that's just crazy to me. So now I'm just doing general cleaning of the point. Right here you can see I got a big bump. and I need to get rid of that. So carefully, get a flint nap that away. Very delicately. And there you go. It is no more. Remember what I was saying earlier? That typically the tip is the thinnest and the base is way wider? Well, that's usually true for my points. Again, sorry about the breathing. Allergies, yada yada yada. You guys get it. I'm fat, you know. Actually, now that I'm here and I don't know how to shut up, I have a video in the works that is going to be about Neanderthal burials and stuff, like ritual practices. So that should be interesting. No idea when it's going to come out. Haven't recorded anything for it. I have the script. It's probably going to be at least a 3-part thing. And first thing's going to be about sort of bird worship or sky burials. But I don't want to talk about it too much. So now, as you can see, we have the overall shape. We have a little bit here we have to get rid of. So we'll do that now. That looks pretty nice. Just get rid of a little bit right here. I'm kind of just making it worse. There we go. Check to see the damage we done. Take a little bit more off the base right there. There we go. That looks pretty uniform. I'm going to take a small little bit right here. This is all symmetry now. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pause the video and take a look. All Alright, so a quick look, and it's a little round right there, so we're going to do a little tiny grind. Just take some flakes off the middle. I really wish this would focus. I'm not sure if this is even going to be watchable. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Now, being that I'm mostly a middle paleo napper, more specifically a Mousterian centered napper, my symmetry, oh wow, that's not how you say that, my symmetry,
that you had you could you do you want you could do so you
I just forgot how to say that word, symmetry is not perfect. Level wall points are typically not, neither are Neanderthal tools. But I try to when I'm doing Native American stuff. Or Neolithic, or I don't think Mesolithic tools were as pretty. I know some of the Solutrean points were just absolutely stunning. But that's a technology that I am not really good at. Let's see. It's going to be pretty good. Now we're going to do what we call the great tip chase and try to get the tip nice and sharp. Give it a quick look. Oh. At this point, with the leather pad I have and the setup I'm using, it's going to be big pain in the ass to try to get it nice and symmetrical. Alright, so I didn't realize the phone stopped recording, and I touched up the edges, but basically I was just making it more symmetrical. So there you go. It's pretty much as good as I'm going to get it. It's actually even smaller than the point I showed you before. It's a simple triangle right now. We're going to notch it with this piece of copper, because I'm not even going to attempt to notch it with this. So let's carefully notch it. I think I'm just going to do a simple side notch. Carefully, carefully, carefully. Now, you may notice that the actual flakes that come off when you're notching, if you're doing it properly, will be rounded. I don't have any good examples to show you, I think. I'll just pay attention. If I find any, I'll show you. So, widen this a little bit. Like this is so thin now that I can actually see the orange through it. So now we're going to line that up. It also helps to have long fingers. I have really short, stout fingers, which is actually better for level 1 technology, believe it or not. There we go. Perfect one right there. I don't know how well you can see that. See how it kind of has that little divot right there? That's kind of how you're going to get your flakes. This is just way too small to demonstrate what I'm talking about. Something cone. It's a napping term. It's the way the rocks react to flint napping. And these are going to stay small. I'm not trying to push the limits here, but I'm also going to take one right there. Sorry. Just to show you how small that is. Fits on the tip of my finger. So, let's take one from the back. I gotta watch what I say. Take one. Try not to take too much at once. There you go. Another good example right there. Ah, it broke. Whatever. Whatever. Screw it. Let's get back to the napping. That's what you're all here for, right? Okay. Actually, a good way to demonstrate it is just to show you the arrowhead. There you go. Okay, that's perfect. See how it's round? The flakes will look exactly like that if they don't fall apart. And if I carefully flip it over, it's round there too. So that's what you actually want when you're notching. I'm sorry that it doesn't focus. I need to get a camera. Just something that isn't a phone, because I'm not gonna lie. Filming flint napping is on a phone is exactly why I don't do it, because it just sucks. Okay, there is the finished point, and it's not going to focus again now, is it? So here is the finished arrowhead. I didn't get all the smooth spots off of it, or flat spots, or whatever. But for an arrowhead so small, I think that is good enough. Let me grab the... So there's the one I did off camera, the bigger one. And here's the one I did on camera. Both are made from Georgetown flint, and we're done with this one was done completely with antler tools, and as you've seen from the video, this one was done with just the notching was done with copper tools. So yeah, thank you all for watching. It's not focusing like usual, and yeah, I'll just see you guys in the next one. I'm done messing with this camera for tonight. Did you enjoy this video? I certainly hope you did. While I have your attention, could you please check out the description to see all my other social media platforms? And while you're there, could you drop a like, subscribe, and share, as this shows I have a growing audience. This has been Neanderthal Joe, and I am signing off for the week.